Preface. This is a book of truth. These sketches are taken from real life. They are facts, not fancies. They are the experiences of some whom the author has known in the course of his ministry. He has not given to them an item of coloring. The only thing about them from which any erroneous impression can possibly arise is to be found in the fact that they are only sketches, not containing all that could be given in respect to the individuals here mentioned. But they are believed to contain a fair and sufficiently full representation of each case. The author has made this selection from the materials in his possession on the principle of avoiding useless repetitions as much as possible, and on the principle of meeting some of the strange difficulties which sometimes trouble inquirers after salvation. If this humble volume shall fall into the hands of any who recognize their own portrait among the sketches here drawn, the author would affectionately suggest to them the propriety of permitting that fact to remain unknown. He solicits this as a special favor to himself, while he assures them he would deem it an injustice and a breach of confidence to disclose to other people the particular feelings of individuals made known to him in the sacredness of religious intimacy. He has been careful not to write anything here which can injure the feelings of any living person. It must be by the person's own act, not the author's, if any of the portraits here sketched is ever known to the public as that of any particular individual. The most of the instances here mentioned occurred in revivals of religion, but the author would be sorry to have it thought that he has any preference for the piety commencing at such a time, before that which commences at other seasons. He would also be sorry to be at all instrumental in leading any soul to think that salvation is not as certainly and as easily attainable at any other time as during a revival, if the soul will as diligently seek it. It would still more grieve him to do anything towards fostering those spurious excitements, so often called revivals, which have done so much to distract the churches and corrupt the religion of this country. He has no fear of any excitements which divine truth will produce, and he believes that if the truth has produced them, they will be ready and willing to be controlled by the truth, come from what lips it may, and will not, therefore, induce the people to rely upon some particular men, revival preachers, as they are sometimes called. He would not undervalue revivals of religion, because abuses have crept sometimes into the churches under that name, nor would he dare to think of choosing the mode in which the Holy Spirit shall do his own blessed work. The particular religious experiences of individuals are not guides for other people. They are only illustrations of divine truth by its application. The sacred scriptures are the only just guide. Still, religious history and religious biography, though often abused by an over-trusting and by a misguided taste, have some signal advantages, and, fitly used, may be of peculiar benefit. It should be carefully remembered that such biographies are written for the very reason that they are supposed to contain something uncommon, and therefore cannot be applicable as examples to believers or inquirers in every case. Nobody would ever think of publishing the religious experience of every believer in a church or city. But the author has hoped that these sketches might be useful not on the ground of their marvelousness, so much as on the ground of their applicability, as they refer to common experiences and common difficulties which have occurred under the ordinary ministration of a very humble individual, and are therefore likely to occur again. He has hoped that they might be instructive by showing the application of divine truth to human hearts, by leading some anxious inquirers after salvation to see what it is that hinders them from peace with God, and by leading private Christians and young ministers of the gospel to study more carefully what they shall say to those who inquire what they shall do to be saved. 20 years ago, he would have valued a book like this above all price. And if this, by the divine blessing, shall be of any assistance to young ministers on a very delicate and important part of their duty, or of any assistance to inquirers after salvation, its purpose will be accomplished. Brooklyn, New York, August 1850.